Hey, what's up, guys? Terrell here. Terrell Game Vlogs. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. My name is Terrell. Nice to meet you. I appreciate you taking the time out and enjoying my video late at night because I don't know when to record videos at proper times. Sorry I haven't put anything up on this channel in like a month. I didn't realize it had been a month until I logged back into the channel. I went, oh my god, I haven't uploaded anything on here in a month. The biggest problem is that usually I don't really. And I also am going to apologize for making a late night video because it seems like my last few videos in this kind of style have been late at night because for some reason I've become a lot more aware or I want to like talk about some shit late at night. And it's always like on a Saturday night or I guess Sunday morning at this point. So I'm going to kind of I also need to get off of these darker or more less lighthearted subjects, but I can't help it. There's also the ones I always want to talk about the most, and I have a lot of energy to displace. So let's displace it here. So I want to talk about paranoia. I don't think I've ever openly, and if you're hearing anything in the background, that's my air filter. I said air filter, but at this point it feels like a glorified fan, but that's besides the point. Anyways, what I was going to say is that paranoia is what I wanted to talk about. Because believe it or not, I'm a relatively paranoid guy. Like I'm just curious about anyone else's experience with paranoia because for me it's relatively nerve-wracking. Now, granted, I don't have extreme paranoia. I've seen how bad paranoia can get and how it can fucking ruin people's lives because of how jumpy and scared and over aware of everything they become because their mind is just racing at like 1,000 miles second and they can't fucking focus and they're like holy shit. And it usually, and for me, my paranoia really kicks in if I'm watching something of dark subject matter for too long, and it has to be something specific. Like it can't just be like I mean I can read a manga about someone getting killed and not feel anything. It's more of the subject. It's more of how close to home it hits me. Like a lot of stuff dealing with depression and suicide, that gets a little too close to home, and it's not like that'll automatically make me get overly paranoid and aware, but it can lead into me in my mind going in that direction, which causes me to become overly paranoid and aware. I think I've said this before. I would argue I have an overactive imagination. Like sometimes I literally won't be able to sleep because my mind is just running with shit. And I can't just like every time I go to sleep, it's always like me forcing, like if you don't remember that episode, and this is going to be really random, you don't remember that episode of My Life as a Teenage Robot where Jenny never had dreams before, so they'd like designed a dream chip for her that was supposed to activate when she went to sleep, but she figured out how to force it during the day, pretty much causing daydreaming, warping her sense of reality. It's kind of like in the sense of I can overtly visualize things that aren't there and get myself freaked out and scared all of a sudden. I've done this a few times. The one time I remember the most vividly is that I had like a dream that turned into a nightmare, and then the nightmare hit this weird visualization where I still thought it was real even when I was awake. And this was actually pretty embarrassing because what I ended up doing is I think I was probably in high school, so I was probably in my teens. I think I woke up on a Saturday morning screaming in the house for my mother. Like I went, "Mama!" and just ran out the room. I couldn't see anything. It was like a weird moment where I blacked out. It felt like I blacked out and I ran into the room, ironically the room my mother was in, and she was like, "What in the fuck?" Because I've done that. I'll do that some things like I'm scared of. Like for example, I'm afraid of spiders. I can't look at a spider without. Well, even first, I can't look at a certain type of spider, meaning primarily tarantulas. If I look, even me talking about tarantulas right now, I'm mentally visualizing a tarantula in my mind, which now makes me a little bit more paranoid. It makes me want to check my shoulder and look behind me, check the floor. That's what happens. I get overly fucking. My mind starts racing and I start visualizing shit that shouldn't or wouldn't be here, and it gets me paranoid. And the reason why this particularly happened tonight was because I was listening to some Eminem tracks but there were a few songs on his newer albums that I had never either heard of. And I was looking at there's a YouTube channel called The Rap Critic, because I like to tell you the stories of how we arrived to the situation we're in now. I was watching YouTube videos with a guy named The Rap Critic. He was reviewing, I think he had like a top 6 list of creepy or disturbing tracks from Eminem. And one of the tracks in there was called Bad Guy. The song, I'm not going to spoil it because the song is actually really well done, but it's a really good track that delves into it's somewhat similar to Stan. If you've heard Stan from Eminem, it's similar to that, but shorter and not really short, I guess I would say, just in a different direction or a different style. But it feels like Stan in some ways, even though most people would argue it's probably more ingenious than Stan was, if you could believe that. And I've heard Stan a million times, so Stan never puts me in this mindset. But because I've never heard the song before, it got me into the thought process of murder and suicide. And then my mind kept racing, and it turned into how fragile life is and how easy it is for someone to come up in your room and kill you. And it got me overly paranoid. I started walking around in the room. I looked out the window a few times. I usually sometimes on hot nights and sometimes I'm not allowed to like turn on the AC. I'll like lift my window up, shut all my fucking windows down. And to do something I haven't done in a while was I got so paranoid and I psyched myself out so bad that I took there's a hamper. See, my door has a lock on it, but the problem with this door is that this fucking door not the actual lock itself, but the I don't know what you call it, the metal thing that connects to the frame of the door. That the when you unlock the door, that little piece comes out. It's supposed to hook on it, which that's what's supposed to stop the door. That's what allows the door to shut, and that's also what allows you to lock the door. That shit is broken, so I can't lock my door anymore. So like right now, I can walk up to this door, lock it, and still pull it straight open. And when I'm in a mindset like this where I'm too overly visualing shit and looking and fucking getting myself way too paranoid, that kind of shit will fuck with me. And like I had to fight the urge not to block the door with something, because that's what I want to do. Although I ended up doing it anyway. I took my fucking hamper of clothes and I fucking moved it to the door like that was gonna do anything. My thought process was at least it would give me some level of a warning, because it's not like you're gonna open the door immediately and think that, oh, I'm just gonna fucking that would cause some level of hindrance. But that's what happens. My mind goes a little bit too forward. And as I said, I have I would say I have light paranoia compared to other people. There are other people who literally can't function in reality because of how bad the paranoia is. And for me, sometimes it's what stops me from being able to sleep. Like I want to go to sleep, and my mind will start racing, and I think I'm gonna get killed in my sleep. It's not a fun thing, and it sucks, and it's not appealing at all. There is no positive spin to it. The only thing you could say is that you're at least always ready for something, but that doesn't make you physically ready. It just means that your mind is always racing. And the problem is because 90% of the time nothing fucking happens, it just lulls you into a false sense of security. The reason why you want to stop being paranoid is because nothing ever happens, and you make your life stressful for no reason. But that one time or 1% where something does happen, you're not even ready for it anyway. It's not like I'm overly prepared. I'm just a little bit more aware than other things. It makes me, I'm the kind of person who always looks around everything because of how it happens. It fucking sucks, and you have to fight it. It's one of those struggles that's just a bitch to deal with, because you can't, the only way you can get rid of it is by not doing anything. You have to resist the urge of doing things that you shouldn't need to do because you're over-exaggerating a situation in your head. For example, there's never a real spider on my bed, so I have to resist the urge not to overly move and kick around in my bed because I'm doing that thinking that there's something on me, or there's something in my vicinity and I don't want to get bit. So I'll fucking start moving. I'll check my covers. I'll take the covers off of me, and I'll get up. I've had nights where I've done that. Like it's like I need to go to work in a few hours, go to bed and I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking there's spiders on me. And so I have to just kind of sleep through the mental trickery. It sucks because for like that first 30 minutes, I'm literally just fighting my mind thinking there's something on me, and then I'll start, and eventually when things become too visually vivid in your head, you start feeling shit that isn't really there, and so I'll start feeling something crawling on me, and there's nothing crawling on me, but I think there's something crawling on me. It's not, now granted, as I said, I have like a really light version of it, because I can power through it and function fine. Like, it's not like a thing that fucks me up on a daily basis. It just has the potential to, if I allow myself to get into that mindset. And it's probably at its very worst is when I'm alone or at night. Those are like the two worst times it fucks me up. When you're by yourself, I get hyper aware and I'm like, fuck. Which has happened to me maybe a few times. For example, there was one time where my mother, sister, and stepfather were out for like 2 or 3 days. So I was in this house by myself for 2 or 3 days, and I had to see. Now I'm looking. I'm like, that's what it is. You see, my bathroom's over there, but there's a window in my bathroom and it's in the dark. I've done that too, where I've looked over and thought there was someone in my fucking shower because I have the curtains. I will move curtains in my shower because of my paranoia. But the point I'm trying to make, the story I was saying is that I was in this house for 2 or 3 days by myself, and I swear at night was pretty bad, but I had to psych myself out. I had to, and that's the thing about people who have paranoia or have a decently bad sense of paranoia. You have to psych yourself out and kind of power through it, because if you don't do that, you'll freak yourself out. That's how people end up hyperventilating and passing out and causing themselves physical damage, because they get too excited, they get too scared, they get too jumpy, and they just flip. They flip and that kind of stress on you all the time is not healthy. It can easily kill you and give you high blood pressure and shit. So you have to kind of psych yourself out. And if I had any advice, you kind of have to power through it. There really is no trick to it, to my knowledge. But then again, as I said, I have a mild variation of paranoia versus other people who can't even fucking function. Like, there are some people I know who will just stop dead in their tracks because they've psyched themselves out to the point where they're afraid to move. And that is a terrifying thing. I feel bad for those people, because the way I feel is I have to just kind of force it. Now granted, like when I'm laying in my bed and I'm getting paranoid, I can kind of just eventually sleep will overtake me, so it's cool. But for some people that shit don't work. And some people can't sleep through it. Can't even get tired enough to get to the point where they need to sleep. So that fucking sucks. But it's like I said, it's all a fucking mental thing. If you can, the whole reason why it's a problem in the first place is because you're psyching yourself out. And I know some people need medication. I would try to push forward without the medication, because the moment you get medication and you start getting medicated, I know medication is made to help you, but it's also an excuse to keep making money off of you, because that's another prescription you need. There's another prescription you need, and there's more money to be made from the industry. But some people fucking need it. Like, some people, it's too much. It's overwhelming, and it will destroy a person's life. For me, it's not nowhere near bad enough to get to that point. But I've had my moments, and I would say I've gotten better with it over time. When I was younger, it used to be worse. I wouldn't say it used to be a lot worse, but it used to be worse in the sense that, like, I couldn't function sometimes. Like, I probably would say I've gone from it being like a low medium to like a high low setting. So it's still like an issue, but it's not like, it doesn't stop me from doing anything. I'll say that. But it has affected how I approach certain situations. Like, I'll get in the house, like today. I'll give you an example. I got in the house today, open up the doors. It's like it's dark as fuck in this house. No one else is here. And I'll do stupid shit like when I come up the stairs to come to my room, I'm in this dark ass hallway. There's no one in here. There's dark rooms everywhere. And because of my glasses and my shitty eyesight, I already can't see as good as enough as I technically should be able to if I had better eyes. So I'm already half paranoid that I'm not going to see anything. The other half paranoid is that someone is in here lying in the dark with a fucking gun or a damn machete or a knife, or whatever the fuck. And so sometimes I come up this room and I'll come up the damn stairs cautiously. I do that way more frequently than probably a normal person does. A normal person in their own house probably just walks up the fucking stairs like everything is normal. Me, half the time it's this cautious. And even then, if you notice, and I've caught myself doing this a few times, I'll like speed walk into my room, which is only like about a 5 foot distance, and I'll still speed walk to my room. Granted, my room is dark as shit, and once again, I have a bathroom in here that has a curtain and all this other shit. It psychs you out. I'm amazed I handle it as well as I do, but once again, as I said, I think I don't have a major variation of it, but it is something that I deal with, and then for those who also deal with it, just like to hear your comments and tips and tricks in the comment section below. For me, it's just I have to psych myself out. I have to just I have to ignore it. I have to try to ignore it, which to me isn't the best advice. But literally, there's nothing else I can really explain to make it sound any better than ignore it. And if you're laying down, sleep. Just try to force yourself to sleep. Because the way no, actually, I'm not gonna say that because I have a saying for it, but I feel like it's a little too disturbing. You can cut the video off now if you don't want to hear the phrasing. But the phrasing for me would be something along the lines of, if I'm gonna get killed anyway, if I'm asleep, I won't really notice it. That's if the murder is good anyway, and if not, I'd rather be asleep than awake if I'm gonna get killed. I guess is the best way I described it. Because being awake is just a stressful, disturbing situation. You know what? That'd be the worst thing in the world. To wake up and see the eyes of your murderer as he's killing you. I don't know if I can see that shit. You kill me while I'm sleeping. Fuck. It's like I don't need that kind of stress on me, especially if I'm about to die. But then people would be like, "What about your chance to survive?" Yeah, I'm just saying it's a what-if scenario. Obviously, I don't fucking know. Anywho, this might be another one of those disturbing videos. Please let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Any tips and tricks for those other people who are also paranoid and have paranoia issues. Leave them in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Terrell Game Vlogs, or the Vlogs Game for your boy Terrell. And I will catch you guys later. Peace. Oh.